Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. I'm back again with yet another mini review, and this time I wanted to take another look at some of the toys from the Gumby series. Now, as you guys will remember, I did a review on the whole line quite a while ago, going into depth the history of the show and the characters and the cartoon, but unfortunately I didn't have any of some of my favorite figures from the entire Gumby line, and that were of course the Blockheads. These guys were hilarious if you ever watched the show. They were complete numbskulls, and they were called Blockheads because they never learned a lesson. They always had to do things the hard way and try to take shortcuts, and it always ended up in them getting into some really bad situations that they really could have avoided, and was really funny just watching them blunder around and make all these goofy mistakes, and watching Gumby and friends and Pokey show them, hey, if you do things the right way, you don't run into trouble like this. And they were just really funny, goofy troublemakers, and they were one of my favorite characters out of the whole Gumby cartoon show and series. Now, unfortunately, these are not the original 76 through 78 Jesco Blockheads, which I wish, because those would cost a small fortune, because they're very rare. Especially Gumby and Pokey are easier to find original, but any of the outlying characters, they're really hard to find. The ones in the late 80s, early 90s are a little bit easier, but any of the real originals from like the 70s are very difficult to find. They're really in limited quantities. They weren't really produced in high numbers to begin with. But anyway, so these are a 2003 version. They are bendy, of course, as you would expect anything in the Gumby toy line to be, and these are made by the Prima Toy Company. So now let's take a look at both of the Blockheads that I have here, and I'll also give you a little bit more history about these guys. So first, let's take a look at this grinning guy here. Now you can see on the sides of their heads, he has the letter G, and the other one has the letter J. They don't have any other names aside from G and J. That is their full name, and I actually never knew that before. I thought they were called Blocko or something. I really couldn't remember because it had been so many years since I had watched the show. So this guy is G. And I remember he was kind of the leader out of the two Blockheads. He was the one that was always coming up with plans, and this guy, as you can see, I'll get to him in a moment with his frowny upside-down face. He was kind of always along for the ride, and things never went too well for him, although they never went very well for either of them to begin with. But as you can see, there's some really great artwork here. Great yellow paint on the side of the figure. The face is done really exceptionally well, where the eyes really pop and the mouth looks great, and the way they cube the head and everything looks fantastic. And everything on these is bendable. You can move the head, you can move the arms, you can move the legs, although they don't really stand very well on one leg, but they're completely posable. And they have a fantastic bright red color like you'd remember from the show. And we'll get the reverse here. There we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is the stamp there. 2003 Prima Toy Company. So oddly enough, these are starting to become vintage now because, it's been 16 years since these were produced. So these are almost 20 years old, these guys alone here. It's always kind of funny. I always have a hard time thinking of anything from the early 2000s as vintage yet, but it's getting there. But yeah, so he's really cool. Let's take a look at his buddy here, Mr. J. Oh, check out this guy. He just looks like, man, nothing goes right for me. Hoo, nothing ever goes right for me, because we're just the dumb old blockheads. And yeah, you can see the J here on the side. I really like that added touch of the bright yellow paint that really just makes these figures pop. And again on the face, with his frowny face and the nose and the eyes. These things are just really awesomely detailed characters. You can just imagine them getting into, you know, all types of crazy scenarios, and you know, they're like, he's like, "Hey Jay, why don't we go and harass Pokey and Gumby and steal all their stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a good idea. That doesn't ever seem to work out for us." And then, you know, he's like, "Oh, well, whatever, you're gonna do what I say, whack, no matter what, because you're my lackey, so let's go." And then they, you know, go off to cause mischief, and of course, you know, they come back, "Oh, what a stupid idea, now we're injured, and everything went wrong, as usual, because they're idiots." But they're great, lovable idiots, and if you've ever watched the show or want to look up on YouTube the antics of the Blockheads, they're really fun and really great. So if you're into Gumby, I highly suggest you picking these guys up or watching a couple episodes. They're really entertaining, they're really fun. I like them a lot, and hope you guys learned a little something about these two mischievous numbskulls today, and I'll see you back here next week. Take care. Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.